Alright, what's up people? It's your boy Black Rambo bringing you one of my first deck explanation, construction, what the fuck, whatever videos. So as you can see at the top right hand corner of my screen, I have 6,004 cards. The 6,004 cards come from the mod that you can get in Audio. It's called Unlock All Cards. It took me a while to do it, but I finally figured it out after I deleted my data and broke my laptop and a whole bunch of other shit. So this laptop that I'm using right now is my new laptop, so I deserve this 6,004 cards. But I mainly did it so that I can put up deck construction videos now. This is one of my favorite decks, the X-Saber deck, but in this particular case we're gonna call it the CX-Saber deck, because this X-Saber deck is all about control. Now I'm just going to give you a run through of all the cards. We got Blackwing Gale, 3-star tuner. Obviously used for tuning. His effect pretty much lets you cut the opponent's monster's attack in half. Now we're going to go to the next monster. We got Super Nimble Mega Hamster. Now you can when you flip this card, you special summon one level 3 or lower beast type monster face down from your deck and face down defense position. Now why this card is so key in this X-Saber deck is that most of your good X-Saber cards are going to be level 3 beast monsters, the ones you definitely want to get on the field. Okay, now you can have 2, but I prefer 3 of them just because they are good defense. As you can see, it has 1,800 defense points. Now we're going over to X-Saber Arabellum. Arabellum is going to be like one of your main X-Saber cards. It's a level 3-star tuner, beast tuner, so it can work in conjunction with Super Nimble Hamster. And also it has a pretty good kick effect. When you do direct damage to your opponent, or you pretty much do a direct attack, your opponent has to discard one random card from their hand. And by doing that, you're causing life point damage, you're causing tuning damage, and once you finish your battle phase, he discards this card, and then you can end up synchro summoning with whatever monster you have on the field. You have X-Saber Patchouli here. He's sort of like a Marshmallow or a Spirit Reaper. If you don't have this particular X-Saber, you can put a Marshmallow or a Spirit Reaper in your deck. They work just as well. And well, actually, it's give and take, because with Spirit Reaper and Marshmallow, you pretty much don't have to pay anything to keep them on the field. But at the same time, they aren't tuners like this card is. So if this card, it's a tuner, but you can but it'll take 1,000 points of life points damage from you every turn. So you don't have to have it, but you can have it. I have it in there because I have specific monsters that I need to tune to make a level 5. So I put him in there because he's a great defense and he's a tuner. By the way, he cannot be destroyed by battle, which makes him a great defense. On to the next. You got Double X-Saber Boggart. Now, if any of you haven't heard of the Double X-Saber monsters, it's just another add-on to the X-Saber, so they work just as well as X-Saber. So if you have any X-Saber effects that you think won't affect a Double X-Saber, you're wrong, because they all are considered X-Sabers. So don't worry about the Double X. So when this card is normal summon, you can pretty much special summon one level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your hand. Now, this deck is pretty much about getting your monster in the field as quickly as you can, swarming the field, synchroing, special summoning, swarming again. But the key to this deck is control. You have to have your specific control monsters, and this monster is one of them. So make sure you use them wisely. If you have them, you get 3. If you don't have them, you can put cards in your deck like Giant Rat. He'll definitely allow you to get any type of level 4 X-Saber monster because of his special effect. But this particular card cannot be used as a synchro material, except for an X-Saber. But we'll get into your extra deck later in your synchro deck, and you'll see why it doesn't. That last part doesn't really matter. Now we're going to another hard-hitting card, Double X-Saber Dark Soul. Now I've been trying to get him for a while. On my other profile, I had only one of him, but you really only need one. Now his effect is pretty much, during the end phase, if this card was sent from your side of the field to the graveyard, this turn you can add one X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. I'm going to tell you, like I said again, swarm in the field. But a lot of these X-Sabers have effects where you can special summon them straight out your hand. Or any of the cards you might want to have, you can use cards that can special summon right out your hand or whatever. Cards like Double Summon are also good to have in this deck. Get 2 on the field at the same time. Now we're going to Double X-Saber Emmer's Blade. So, Emmer's Blade, oh, he's a fucking cricket. Did not know that. But, Emmer's Blade is, effect is pretty much when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. I mean, from your deck. Now, if you have Emmer's Blade, you don't necessarily have to use Dark Soul. Or better yet, you can actually, like, like I said before, have one Dark Soul. Because Emmer's Blade pretty much does the deed right here. And if you don't have Emmer's Blade, like I said before, Giant Rat is also an awesome addition. If you haven't noticed, like 90% of all X-Sabers are Earth monsters, and their attacks are really low. So you'll almost be able to summon anything with Giant Rat. Giant Rat is a great substitution in this deck. So you can special summon one level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your deck. And so I have 3 of them in here. 2 will be fine, but I like to have 3. If you don't have them, Giant Rat is the way to go. Double X-Saber Fault Troll. There is no replacement for Double X-Saber Fault Troll because he is one of the key cards in your deck, simply for the fact that you do not have to sacrifice for him. Now, when you have the at least 2 X-Sabers on the field, you can special summon him from your hand. And once per turn, you can target one level 4 or lower X-Saber monster in your graveyard and special summon that target, which makes him definitely badass because you can do multiple synchro summons or fusion summons or tribute summons in one turn. Now, the way I like to do it is I like to have specific monsters in the field, you know, summon him. You can use X-Saber Ragigura, whatever it's called. Yeah, Ragigura, to discard one card and special summon another, put another card in your hand. Once you get that card, once you discard the card that you want to summon, you can use X-Saber Fault Troll's effect to bring that card to the field. Now we have Double X-Saber Full Helm Knight. So I enjoy this card simply for the fact that, again, it's a level 3 turner. You're gonna have a lot of turners in this deck, so you really don't need to add any unnecessary turners like I don't know, Blackwing, Gale. Only have him in there for the half damage effect. That's dangerous no matter where you go. Everybody hates Gale, and he's also a target. So if you have a monster that you know is important and you want to keep on the field, you can use Gale, and he'll pretty much like divert attention from, I don't know, a monster say as a Double X-Saber Full Helm Knight. So once you get him on the field, you can pretty much negate the attack of one of your opponent's monsters, which is why I had 2. That's beautiful. Yeah, you can negate the attack of one of your opponent's monsters, and when it's your turn to battle, you go in your battle phase. If this card destroys like a defense position monster, face up or face down, doesn't matter. Your opponent, as long as your opponent controls it, of course, you can special summon one level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your graveyard. So your X-Sabers dying really won't be a bad deal. You can sacrifice your X-Sabers because you have multiple cards that will be able to bring them back from the graveyard. So don't worry about that. Alright, now for spells, I have Enemy Controller. Now this is just my personal thing. Well, it's all my personal, but for spells, I have Enemy Controller. So you can save your X-Saber when you need to, or you can take one of your monsters and take one of your opponent's monsters and like tribute it. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, a Night Beam. Night Beam is a great card to have. It's pretty much a MST, but it only destroys set cards, and your opponent can't. It's such a fuck ass. And your opponent cannot like activate anything in response to it. He can't counter this card. So Night Beam is definitely a great card to have. You can put like 2 or 3 of them in there if you want. I don't know. It's up to you. Saber Slash. It's like a lightning vortex, but for well, no, it's pretty much like a lightning vortex, but for everything. You can destroy any number of, well, not any number, but a number of face-up cards on the field equal to the number of face-up attack position X-Saber monsters you control. So if you got like 3 of these X-Saber Arabellums, then you can destroy 3 cards on the field as long as they're face-up. So I got 2 of them in there because they're definitely a clutch card. So I mean, one's fine, but you have to like vary when you use it. Now for the X-Saber field spell, Saber Vault. So Saber Vault pretty much increases all X-Saber and Double X-Sabers attack by, well, not by, but times its level. So if you have a X-Saber Arabellum on the field, his attack would be boosted to 1900 because he has 3 stars and it's times 100. Or if you had a double X-Saber Bargain on the field, his attack would be boosted to what, like 2300, simply because he has 4 stars. So I got two of them in here. You don't have to have 2, so you could take this one out and you could put Gaia in. Gaia is another field spell. It's actually more consistent in a sense because all of your X-Sabers are, well, 90% of your X-Sabers are going to be Earth types. So it'll increase the attack of all Earth monsters you control by 500 points and decrease their defense by 400 points. And again, if you put Giant Rat in your deck, he's also an Earth monster with 1400 attack points, and it'll boost his attack to 1900. So you can have Gaia and one Saber Fault in there. They both work to a common purpose. Gaia is just more general. One of my personal favorites, Soul Taker. It's like one of the most badass clutch cards you can ever have in your deck. Real simple, straight to the point. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that target, and then you gain 1000 life points. It's just take and take. It's no give here. It's just take and take. That card, I just keep him in there just in case somebody wants to get real badass on turn 1 and summon some crazy shit, and I just soul take his ass. But that's definitely a way to go. Sword of Sparkles, that's totally up to you. You can put any type of equip card you want in there, but Sword of Sparkles pretty much is when you destroy one of your opponent's monsters. You can use this card and pretty much select another card on your opponent's field and destroy it. And if you tribute, I mean, you can tribute it, like if your monster like gets killed or whatever, you can tribute this card instead, and it'll pretty much die in its place. Terraforming, of course, you gotta have speed in the deck. You want to get one of your field spells out as quickly as possible, so you use Terraforming to do that. You can use Terraforming for whatever you want. It's like a throwaway card, and it's like a decent card at the same time. Because if you pluck your field spells beforehand, your opponent might want to get cute and have you discard a card or whatever. You can just get rid of your Terraforming. So just think of it as like a throwaway card. Of course, you run 2 Dark Bribes. Oh, this is my personal. Dimensional Prison, Gothams, Emergency Call. 2 of those. This is how you're gonna get. This is another way to get your another way to get your X-Sabers out on the field as quickly as possible, and so you can like do some crazy synchro summons. Yes, you can do some crazy synchro summons, and because you can target 2 X-Saber monsters in your graveyard and special summon to the side of the field. So if your monster hits you, if your opponent hits you with like a, I don't know, like a Mirror Force, you can activate this after your opponent is finished attacking or during the attack and bring out 2 more monsters. Mirror Force, Reinforce the Truth, which can be used to special summon 1 level 2 or lower warrior type monster from your deck, but you cannot conduct your battle phase that turn. So seeing as how you cannot conduct your battle phase, your best bet will be to go for X-Saber Past Shoal, which cannot be destroyed by battle. You can use Saber Hole. If you don't have a Saber Hole, that's fine. You can put cards like Solemn Warning or Divine Wrath in your deck. But Saber Hole is just related to the X-Saber deck, so I just figured I might want to put it in there for looks. So you can as long as you have an X-Saber on the field, you can negate the special summon of a monster and destroy it. So Saber Hole is pretty much like a black Horn of Heaven. So if you don't have Saber Hole, you can put in Black Horn of Heaven in your deck. Okay, so I've gave you the rundown of the entire deck, or my entire deck. Let's go to the extra deck. So for your extra deck, you want to run 2 Colossal Fighters, Naturia Barricon, because it has the same Earth attribute and it can negate trap cards by banishing 2 cards from your graveyard. This does the same thing, but it negates spell cards. You know, you banish 2 cards and negates whatever spell card they activate. This particular monster, Naturia Landoise, while this card is placed up on the field, you can send 1 spell card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation of an effect of an effect monster's effect and destroy it. Okay, so effect monster, trap card, spell card, and trap card. Trap card, spell card, effect card. Stardust Dragon is a must, just to save your own ass. As far as X-Saber synchros go, you can put in X-Saber Souza. These are his effects. You can read them for yourself. So because I want to cut this short, we're gonna keep going. X-Saber Urbellum. When this card is synchro summon, when this card inflicts battle damage, while they have 4 more cards in their hand, you can place 1 random card from their deck to their hand to the top of their deck. X-Saber Wayne, which will allow you to special summon 1 level 4 lower warrior type monster from your hand, which can come in handy when you special summon cards to your hand. So always keep X-Saber Wayne on call. Double X-Saber Gothams, which will allow you to discard a card from your hand, from your opponent's hand, as long as you tribute 1 X-Saber monster on the field. We got Double X-Saber Hyunle, Hyunle, or whatever the fuck it's called. Let's just call him Hun, or Lei. Okay, yeah, I like Lei. We'll just call him Lei. So when this card is synchro summon, you can select and destroy up to 3 spell or trap cards on the field. So that's like one of your best trump cards, especially when they have a field full of bullshit and you just want to clear the field and get that bullshit off the field, because bullshit stinks, and if you're running in bullshit, it's like shitty. So on to the next. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King, Diamond Direwolf, MX-Saber Invoker, Soul of Silver Mountain. He's also a great card to have. And going into your extra deck, you can have cards like Emergency Teleport, Night Beam, Pot of Duality, Riroku, and Shrink, because the X-Sabers are weak and it's hard for them to stand on their own. Cards like Riroku will pretty much give them more time to get their strategies in place. X-Saber Dark Soul, of course, a spare of Saber Vault. You can have Beast King Barbaros for some power. Like I said before, they're weak, so you can put him in there for some power. That'll turn it from control to offense. Dark Resonator will definitely turn it to control, because you'll stall for time. I'm going to put that in there right now. Giant Rant. You won't need 3. If you want 3, that's awesome. A spare of X-Saber Arabellum and a spare of X-Saber Fault Troll. You don't really need to put spares in the extra deck. I just wanted to have some shit in there to show you guys. So that's it for my CX-Saber deck, which is called the Control-X-Saber Deck. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and pretty much share my videos. Let people know. That's about it. Peace.